Hey Darren.
Hey, what's going on?
So guess what I did the other day?
Really, what?
After school, I decided to go and walk up to the park, and on my way there, like in the entrance, I noticed that there was like this really cool arc there, right?
Ooh.
And it was pretty tall. And you
Oh.
know what the arc reminded me of?
Mm-hmm.
Parabola.
Oh,
So,
that we're learning in math?
and that reminded me that in Miss Salgado's class we were learning about parabolas and how to find the
Yeah.
maximum, minimum, whatsoever. So I was like, the arc looks pretty tall. It would be
True.
pretty cool to figure out
I
how
think we
tall
can
it
do
is,
it.
don't you think?
Yeah.
So, you think what I'm thinking?
Think I am. Let's measure this parabola.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so to find the height, we are measuring from where the arc begins. So our y-axis would be this wall, and then the x-axis is the blue line here. And we found 3 points. These measurements are in inches, by the way. I'll write that later. But yeah, we have our first point there, which is 0, 0, and then 2 other points that we're going to use to find the quadratic equation of this parabola. Yes, point A, B, and C. Point A is 0, 0, obviously. Point B is 10, 18. And point C is 48, 24. Okay, so after we find the equation, we're going to try and find the maximum, which would be the height away from the x-axis. That's up there, where the red dot is. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite our 3 points. And for the first equation, so you're going to plug in x and y for the standard form quadratic equation, which is ax squared plus bx plus c. So 0 equals a times 0 squared plus b times 0 plus c, and c ultimately equals 0. We're going to do the same thing with the other 2 equations. So now, with the next one, 18 equals a times 10 squared plus 10b, or b times 10, plus c. That simplifies to 18 equals 100a plus 10b plus c. And then for the final point, which is, yep, that one, we have 24 equals 48 squared, a times 48 squared, plus 48b plus c. And that simplifies to 24 equals 2,304a plus 48b plus c. Okay, so now we are going to use elimination, and our first equation already eliminated both variables a and b. Let me move this up here. But we can use the other 2 equations, like equations 2 and 3, to eliminate the b value. Yep, we have 10b and 48b, and the least common factor is 240. So if we multiply this equation by 24 and this equation by negative 5, so that the 2 b values will ultimately cancel out. It's a little smaller. So now we have 432 equals 2,400a plus 240b plus 24c. And then our new second equation would be negative 120 equals negative 11,520a minus 240b minus 5c. Now we're adding those two equations together and the b values cancel out. So we get 312 equals negative 9,120a plus 19c. Okay. Now we can plug in 0 for c in this new equation. And move that down there. So we have that equation, and we are going to solve for a now, since we know that c is 0. So 312 equals negative 9,120a plus 19 times 0, which equals 0. Yep, we know c is 0. I'm just going to rewrite that. Now we divide both sides by negative 9,120. And our a value comes out to be negative 0.034. Now we can plug this and the c value that we got earlier into the blue equation to find the b value. Okay, now for this equation. Okay, so on the next slide, we are going to plug in our a and c values into that remaining equation. So 18 equals 100 times negative 0.034 squared plus 10p, oh my gosh, plus 0, essentially. So 18, this equals negative 3.421 plus 10b. Now we are going to add 3.421 to both sides. It's a decimal, so I just added the ellipses. And we get 10b equals 21.421. Now we divide both sides by 10. And our b value equals 2.142. So now we can plug this and the other equations other solutions into standard form on the next slide. So our equation is y equals negative 0.034 x squared plus 2.142x. There we go. Nice. Now we have to find the maximum. That's our next step, I guess. So there are two ways that we can find the maximum. One way is to find the x and y. So x would be the opposite of our b value over 2 times a. And then we would plug that into the equation for x. Or we could just graph it on our calculator and analyze the graph. But we're going to do it by hand. Okay, so I'm going to write our equation up here.
So you already know what it is. 0.34 x squared plus 2.142 x. So our b value, we take that and switch to the sign. So negative 2.142 over 2 times negative 0.034.
that equals negative 2.142 over 0.068. And then our x value ultimately is 31.5. Now we're going to plug this new value into our equation up there. Make this smaller. Okay. So y equals negative 0.034 times 31.5 squared plus 2.142 times 31.5. So negative 0.34 and then 31.5 squared is 992.25 plus here we have 67.473. Now if we simplify even more, negative 33.736 plus 67.473. Then our y value equals 33.736. So that's our maximum height in inches. And the point, the actual point, the vertex, is 31.5, comma, 33.736. Okay, so now we know that the height of the arch from the x-axis, I'm going to write it out in a sentence because it's technically a word problem, I guess. .736, but that's not from the bottom. Well, that's in inches. It's actually 2.8 feet approximately. But that is only from where the arc begins to the top of the arc. So that space where the arrow is, that's hard to see. But that's 2.8 feet. And then the bottom part from the x-axis to the ground is 13 feet. So together it's actually about, so altogether it is 16.3 feet tall. Nice.
Good job.
I
Can't believe we did it.
I can't believe how tall that was.
I know.
We did it.
I'm so excited that we finally learned something in math that we can use in real life.
I know we can calculate any parabola now.
I know. Well, who knows what the future has in store for us?
Yeah. I'm proud of us. Good job.
Good job.
Yeah. Bye.